Hey everybody, it's Scott, and we are going to start doing some agent training videos for the Disney travel agents, or as you'll sometimes hear it referred to as the DTA site, for our newer agents, or just ones that just need a refresher on something every once in a while. So the first video we're going to make is going to be on booking a Walt Disney World vacation for your guest. So as you can see right here, I am currently logged on to the DTA homepage, and you can see I'm logged on because this is Welcome Scott, Tink's Magical Vacations with our IATA number. And so where you're really going to kind of drive everything is right here in this top little bar. And you can see how it's got different options for what we can price and quote. And that would be Walt Disney World, other or more great accommodations, Disneyland Good Neighbor Hotel, Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, Disney's Hilton Head and Vero Beach Resorts, and then you can also do Walt Disney World ticket only and Disneyland ticket onlys here as well. So the first one we're going to do in this video and is going to be Walt Disney World. So that should be the default for you. So if we are wanting to price and quote a Walt Disney World vacation for our guest, and remember, for our newer agents, these quotes must be run by your senior agent / mentor before you can submit that to your guests. So please keep that in mind when you are pricing and quoting things. So the first thing I will do is select my check-in and check-out dates. And it's real simple. Just once you click right here and check in, it's going to pull up your calendar. And let's say they were looking at going, let's say Sunday, July 21st, and wanted to go for 7 nights, so they would check out on the 28th to make 7 nights at their resort hotel. You can see our dates are here, and then the dates from check-in until checkout are highlighted as well. Let's say it's a family of 4, so 2 adults and then 2 children, ages, let's say 14 and 8. Now keep in mind, of course, for ticketing purposes, a child that is over the age of 10 is considered an adult, but for room purposes, they only consider adults 18 or over. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes that can be a little confusing, but basically that is because anytime you have more than 2 adults in a room, there are more times than not an additional surcharge for that third or subsequent adult in that room. So that's why we need to separate them that way. One, so we can see their ages if they are under 18, and then secondly, just if they are under 9, they can get those child pricings on tickets and or dining plans. And then right here where it says hotel, we can either select from the list for a specific resort if we would like, or if we just wanted to see what all was available for our guests, we can leave that as saying all hotels, and it will pull up all the resorts hotels that are available during the dates we have selected. And last, if you need a handicap accessible room for your guests, please click this. This will give you all the options of both hearing accessibility and physically handicapped rooms that are available at the resorts that you're interested. So for now, we will not select the accessible rooms, and we will just do the find prices. And you will see once this pulls up, it's going to give me all the resorts that are available, and basically we know they're available if it gives me the average price per night. You'll see as I get towards the bottom, it will say offer is not available. So we will know that those resorts are not available for the dates we entered. So you can see as I scroll down, we have a lot of resort options. If I keep scrolling, you'll eventually see, maybe, right there where it says those resorts are not available for the dates, party size, or offer selected. So one of my favorite resorts is the Polynesian Resort. So let's say we wanted to select the Polynesian Village Resort for our stay. So I will click over on the price there for the Polynesian Village. And once you pull up the page here, you will see a couple of different things you need to focus on. First of all, at the very top shows you any offers that are currently available for the date range you entered. So you can see standard price will always default, but if I wanted to check to see if there were any other special rates, for example, if our guests were annual pass holders or Florida resident, those are available. You can also see that there is a summer room offer that is available to see if we have availability. And right here he shows 5 offers match where we only see 4. So if you hover over here to this arrow, it will turn blue. You can click and it gives you the additional package that's available. The 2 big differences on these packages right now, the summer room offer is just a room offer only, where the kid size summer vacation package is a package price discount. So let's say we wanted to check and see if there was any availability under the kid size summer package. So once I select that and I will scroll down, you will see based on that there is no availability because it says basically the room type is not available. And usually if it's not available for one, it's not available for the others, but we will check just to be sure and see if something is available on the summer room offer as well. Could be. And as I look, that actually has a little bit of availability there. So let's say that our guests really wanted to be in the club level with the theme park view of the Magic Kingdom. So I will select that option for our room type. And then it's going to pull up my cart, and from this point on, this is where you're really going to drive and customize the reservation. So once you're in your cart, it's going to show you if you have any promotional or special offers. So we do have the summer room offer. It will recap the dates, so checking in July 21st, checking out July 28th of 2019 for 2 adults and 2 children, and our kids are 14 and 8. It gives us our resort being Disney's Polynesian Village Resort and a theme park view club level room. And from here we can add a few different upgrades. We can add tickets to the reservation, and once we add tickets, then it will open up these other options of being able to add the memory maker, the dining plan, to book flights, and then to add the Magical Express, either if you are adding the flight to the reservation or if they already have a flight reservation they have booked for themselves, then you can still add the Magical Express right here. So the first thing we want to do is add our ticket options. Since they're going for 7 nights, they want a 6-day hopper, so they have kind of a rest day in the middle. So I'm going to select 6-day, scroll on down, and you will see park hopper option. And as I add the tickets, it will actually update kind of my running cart. So you can see here that is my new subtotal. Once you are done with the ticket options and the number of days, you can click done, and that will take you back to your cart. And once you're in your cart, you can look at the other couple of options to customize this reservation. And you can either look at adding the memory maker or the dining plan. So let's say that, of course, we always want to recommend the memory maker if it's something that the guests feels like will benefit them. But let's assume that we spoke with our guests, and they, for this reservation, were not interested in the memory maker. Either they enjoy taking the pictures themselves, or just don't want to spend that little bit extra money. But remember, if guests do add it in advance of the reservation, then they do get a $30 discount, and it's $169 versus $199. And don't forget also the memory maker is now commissionable, effective just very recently, so keep that in mind as well. But for the dining plan, let's say that they did want a dining plan. So when we select add dining plan, and this is the page I really kind of like whenever you are looking at adding a dining plan, you can see that basically we have our offer subtotal right here. And as we scroll down, it gives us the different dining plans, and it actually gives us our running amounts depending on which dining plan they would like to select. So this is a really convenient and nice little page especially to run by your mentor if you are trying to possibly price out different dining plans. So let's say that they wanted to do the quick service dining plan. I would select that, and once again Woody's going to think just for a second and take me back to my cart. So we once again have our cart with our breakdown of the promotion, our dates, our travel party size, our resort, the kind of room at the resort, our tickets with any options. If we were to add Memory Maker, it would say it there. And then our dining plan, it does say the Disney dining plan. Now, let's say they're fairly local and they're going to drive, so we won't have to worry about doing that. And oftentimes, it is sometimes easier to call in and add the Magical Express to the reservation. Just talking to somebody, sometimes I like just doing that because they can confirm the flight times and the information that your guest gives you. And then as I keep scrolling down, you're going to see a couple other options. It gives us our offer subtotal right here, and then we have the option of adding the travel protection plan. The travel protection plan does not have to be added when you are first booking a reservation. The only requirement on that is that it has to be added before the vacation is paid in full. So it is non-refundable after 14 days once you add it, so I would highly recommend having your guests hold off on add it if they're interested in it until you make that final payment, just in case something were to happen and they had to cancel the reservation. They would not get that part back. If they had to cancel it before they traveled and they had paid portion of the money, they would not get that back, is what I'm trying to say. So we always recommend to only add that pretty much right prior to final payment. So as you're looking here, it gives you your subtotal and then the total commission price. Keep in mind, we never ever need to send the guest any information that lists the commission. So if this were something you were wanting to send to your guest as a quote after getting approval from your mentor or senior agent, then if you scroll back up to the top, you will see how it has the header with your name and Tink's Magical Vacations and the address and all that other information. And right underneath that, it says Hi Travel Agent Info. So if I select that, you'll notice that that bar at the top disappears, and once I scroll down, now it only gives me the subtotal and no commission amount. So this is a great page that you can save as a PDF or take a screenshot of and send to your guest once you have that checked off by your mentor and before you actually get to the checkout page. So and it is very nice to go through Google Chrome, but I believe Microsoft Edge, the new Microsoft browser, also can do this, but you can save this straight as a PDF. Like you're basically printing to a PDF. So once you go up to select print, I'll just show you. I select print, and it gives me the option to save as a PDF. And basically this is what the guest will see, because this is the only thing. These are the only things that are on their reservation: the dates, the resort, tickets, and dining, and it gives them the price. Notice no commission amount. So you can save that, and that is something that you can easily send to your guest. So, assuming they are ready to book, once you are on this screen, then you can select Checkout. Give this a second. I can assure you it's usually not the site that's slow. My computer's been running a little slow lately. So once it pulls up the checkout order summary screen, basically it's going to tell you right at the very top, you can hold this for 10 minutes before it will time you out. So once we're on the checkout screen, we can once again have a real quick overview of our reservation information by clicking View Reservation Details. and this gives us a real quick snapshot of everything we saw on the previous page in our cart. So once we're on this page, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is it's going to ask you to enter your guest names. And so let's say we have Mr. Bill. Sorry about that. Caps lock is on. Mr. Bill Clark. I'm just making a name. If you know any Bill Clarks out there, this is totally fictitious and not meant to give out anybody's information. And let's say the Clark family has all the same last name, so we can select all guests have the same last name, and it will auto-populate those, which is a nice little quick feature. And his wife's name is Elizabeth Clark. And the 14-year-old is their son, so it's going to give us a choice of Master or Miss. So Master, let's go Bryce, just picking names. And then their daughter is the 8-year-old, and it's Miss, let's go Addison. Just thinking the names in my head. And once you get to that, on the second section right here, you are able to say if you want to pay the $200 deposit, if you want to pay the amount in full, which remember if you're wanting to do that, you would need to have added a vacation protection plan if they want it. You can pay an additional or another amount greater than the $200, so you would click there and enter the amounts. Say they wanted to pay $500 or $1,000 as their deposit, you can put that there, or you can hold the reservation. So for this sake today, we're going to hold the reservation, but if you were paying the deposit after getting the quote checked, of course, by your mentor, and then giving the guest the Tink's Magical Vacations credit card authorization form. And keep in mind that your guests will need to fill this out prior to you charging anything on their card. This gives us permission to do so. So this link is on our Google Drive, and so if you need anything with that or need any help, definitely check with your mentor or senior agent. So once you see their entry pop up on the Google Sheet that we go to access, then you are more than welcome and free to pay that deposit or the full amount or other amount they've asked. But before usually we can allow them to do that, we will put the reservation on hold so we can check to make sure they've entered that credit card authorization. Now, with that being said, if once you go to enter their card number, you can see we'll scroll down, and you will need to have their card information with their number, expiration date, cardholder's first and last name, their billing address, and phone number. You can also pay this with a Disney gift card. One thing we always caution clients on is to be sure that they hold on to their Disney gift card even after they have exhausted all the funds, because any kind of refund that goes back to the reservation if they were to cancel will go back to the original form of payment. So if they paid $500 on a Disney gift card and $500 on their Disney Visa, then each of those 500s will go back to their respective payment sources. So please keep that in mind, and definitely recommend they do not throw away any cards, because they never know when they might need them if a refund is given. You can also pay with a Disney Rewards redemption card, which is the Disney Rewards card that you get through your Disney Chase Visa. And last, once we enter that information, you'll always, here beside the number 3, have to read and agree to the terms and conditions of the order by clicking there and doing a double check to make sure your email address is correct, so it will send you the correct reservation summaries. But for today's sake, we're going to hold the reservation for 3 days, or up to 3 days in this case. Different reservations, depending on how far they out, will give you a different window. And notice when I do that, it takes away my credit card option to put the number in. So once I do that, I will click yes, I've read these, because I have lots of times, and click purchase. And once again, Woody will come up and get the reservation built for us. And once it does that, you can see where it says your client's reservation is on hold. And so this is always going to be a time when you will want to, once again, save this reservation information in a PDF. One, for you, but two, for your guest, in case an email doesn't come through, so I'll always save a backup. So what you do, if you go up here to the print button, it's going to give you two options. It's going to let you print a copy for your records, and notice the asterisk. It will say shows commission information, or come over here and say print a copy for my client, and the main difference is it will take off the commission information and make it a little bit of a cleaner copy, just in case you are going to send that to your client. So once again, if I click print a copy for my records, it's going to pull up, giving me the option to save it as a PDF. And for each of my guests, I have a folder just for each family underneath a client reservation folder. So I'll kind of show you right here. If I were to save this, I have client reservation folders. I have client reservation folders, and you can see these are all different clients I have. And so I could go in, or I could create a new folder for that person. And I normally would just name it very simply if it's a hold, a deposit, or a pay in full. So just hold, and I will say Clark family. Now we usually put just WDW, DCL, whatever destination they're traveling to, the month and the year, and then whether it is an agent copy or a guest copy. So you can see I have that there because this is my agency copy. And then I always will save a guest copy as well. So I'll click print again and print a copy for my client. Even if they don't need it, I've got it. And then notice, kind of hard to see, but notice it does not have anything about the commission information. And I will click save, and I will just find the one that I did. Click on it, and then I will just do guest copy. And then so that way I've got that saved for them. From this point, this is where you would go on and use all the information that you just gathered between your confirmation number and your travel party, their information, the package price, and don't forget right now you do not see the commission because I have the travel agent information hidden. So if I show that, then it's going to come down and show me the commission. This is where you will use all that commission to, and I always do it immediately, to go in and enter that information into tests to make sure that everything is entered correctly for in case Kristen and or Beth have to access anything. Also, when it's time for commissions to be paid out, everything is entered correctly, and you don't forget to do it. I just always do it instantly once I book. That way it's done, and I don't have to worry about forgetting to do that. So that's kind of a quick overview, a 23-minute overview actually, of how to book and put a reservation on hold. The one thing I will say is if you have a client that only needs a room-only reservation, we highly recommend, and this will be something you would do with your mentor/senior agent, is instead of booking a room-only, to book that as a basic package. Basically, it'll be a basic package with room-only and no tickets. And basically, with a basic package, you pay the $200 deposit like you would on any other reservation. But you can still add the travel insurance, which is also commissionable, before you're paying full date. And you can also get the magical extras that you receive with a package reservation. So we always recommend doing even room-onlys as a package. So the only disclaimer on that is you cannot book them on the DTA website online. You do have to call it in. So, but if your guest does just want a room-only package, we definitely recommend calling in and making that a basic package. Just makes things a little easier on the paperwork side of things. Plus, it gives them some of the free magical extras that they would not get if it was just a room-only. So, hopefully that kind of made some sense to you and helped you out a little bit on being able to not only quote, but also to put on hold and see the process of entering the card information. The last thing I will show you is, and I'm going to select and copy that reservation confirmation number, because if you have to go back in and make a payment or do anything with the reservation, how to retrieve that reservation once it is either on hold or actually deposited and officially booked. So once I am here back on my DTA homepage, you see this is where I went to actually get the quote. Right underneath that, I can enter that confirmation number. That's why I copied it. And so I can enter that and do retrieve reservation. And what it will do is it will pull up that reservation summary, kind of like you had in your cart, once again. And from there, you can see all the reservation details that we've already looked at and seen. And from here, you can either look to modify it if they wanted to add nights or add tickets or change the dining plan, add the memory maker. You can actually oftentimes modify the reservation online, or you can cancel that reservation if something came up and they could not travel any longer, and you could go there to do that. Or you can come back here and you can actually make a payment, an additional payment, if they have already paid their deposit, or if you're coming on this after it's held to pay the deposit once it's held. So this is just another way to access the reservation and to help you out from not having to necessarily call in. So that is just a quick little reference on how to retrieve a reservation. So I hope this helps you. We will definitely do other videos in the future on how to book a Disney Cruise Line vacation and Disneyland vacation, which Disneyland is very similar, and just kind of to help out our newer agents on understanding the DTA site and how to appropriately and properly quote and book reservations. So hope this helped, and definitely if you have any questions, reach out to your mentor/senior agent, and we will be more than happy to help you out and assist you in any way we can. So hope everyone has a great magical day, and bye now.